So here we are, back again. Looking a little bit more summery today. The weed is absolutely biblical out there. I got here yesterday late, and even in poor light as I was boating about, I could just see, it's just weed everywhere. Huge, great beds of it. Set up on the back of an island. Not a swim I fish an awful lot usually. It's just along the bank from the, sort of the high bank one, the steps, that I do fish quite a bit. I thought I'd have a go in here just because of the way the weed is really. It's all laid out there, I don't know if you can see it, but there's sort of, between me and the house, there's huge great weed beds on the surface. See a couple of fish stick their heads out yesterday in the evening. But we've got a long day ahead, it's only about 6:30 in the morning, something like that. In case of hunting them down, because they're out there somewhere. And unlike a lot of lakes, it seems to be good in these conditions. Higher pressure, calm. I fished a few big lakes in the past that have fished in these conditions. Seems to be more of a big lake thing. Got to keep an eye down there as well, right down the bottom there. I do like it out there, and that is solid down there. I think it could be a different year this year. Last year they was all pugged up in snags the whole time. But they didn't have the option of the weed. I'm sure they prefer to be in great big weed beds rather than stuck under bushes and trees. It's just finding the buggers. I'm going to have a nice big breakfast, and then maybe wrap it all up, put it in the boat and have a cruise about. It's always a job to know when to give up on a swim, because once you've obviously brought it all in and packed it all up, then you're not fishing again until you find something. But they were here last night. I'll give it a couple of hours. Right, food time. Lane has found herself a nice spot, look. King of the castle, top of the hill. She ain't silly, it's the only spot round here when the sun's hitting at the moment. Lovely little spot. Ta-ra! Look at that. Proper carp angler's breakfast. 2 eggs, 2 sausage, 2 bacon. Bosh. That'll set me up for the day. And I can go and find some carp. Oh, looks yum. You can't smell what I can smell, but it smells even better. Right, ta-da. Well, we're on the move. This is a lovely little swim I've boated into here. Actually got some greenery around, look at that. It's very enclosed. Little cave. But I've seen quite a few fish out there. That swan is on a bar. This bay is called the Coot Bar Bay. And can I zoom in? Yeah. So that island's the start of the Coot Bar, and that line of weed is running in a dead straight line. That's the bar. It's about anything from 5 foot up to 2 foot on top, and then drops down into a mass of weed where this closer one is, and then it's just weed everywhere. But it is quite. You can only fish it when it's really weedy because there's 3 snag trees out here. You can see that orange marker, that's one I leave out there permanently. But when the weed's up, it changes the game really, because they're gonna go in the weed rather than try and find the snags. We called it the scary trees. That's what I named it, because of these. May have showed you it before, I don't know. These mad things. But this one is where it gets its name. Looks for all the world like when you stand in the middle there. This lot, I'm going to close up like that. Venus flytrap. You'll be trapped forever in the middle of a tree. Scary tree swim. That's where we're going to do tonight. There's enough fish out there to make it very interesting. Of course, everything looks green through this phone camera. It's not actually that shade in real life. Is it, Madalena? You're not going off exploring? Is that it? Out the boat to there, lay down. It's the middle of the afternoon, so that's why the planes are loud and constant. Every minute, I think they are. But there you go. Anyway, right, I've got to get set up. I'm going to catch carp. Ha-ha. Oh, it's a proper soggy old morning this morning. It's been tipping it down in the night. But I've got one of them leant against the bivvy. Which means I've just caught a carp. He's down there, look. Down there in the net. He's not very big. Oh, common about, I don't know, £20 maybe, if you're lucky, with a following wind and a wet net. Oh. But I was up late o'clock last night, so I'm a bit knackered. I've just fallen back to sleep and off it went. But yeah, it's very, very wet today. Everything's proper sodden. I'm gonna have a cup of tea and then sort him out. Find somewhere, set the camera stuff up. See what we caught. Here we go then. Scary tree in the background. Suddenly disappear in a big whoomp from willow. Whatever it is. You know what's happened to me? It's swallowed by the whooping tree. Hello, Mr. Common. Oh, you're going to be well behaved. Be angry. Angry. Why? Why so angry? Behave, behave, behave. Say hello to nice people. I ain't weighed him, he's probably a scrape of 20 if I'm lucky. Big grey fish. Little short, dumpy common. Nice. Start to the morning. Probably scared the bejesus out of everything else from the swim. That's what usually happens at these sort of little bay ends. You hook one, and everything buggers off. There's a nice one. Proper dense, compact. He's quite heavy for his level, to be honest. But he ain't a monster. Right, let's put him back somewhere. Well, it'll come as no surprise to you whatsoever that I've moved. Had that fish this morning. I just got the feeling it was dead, so I had a little punt about in the boat. There was a couple of little commons left in the weed, that was about it. So just been at the shops for some supplies, and on the way back come past this weed bed and I'll see a few fish sort of just cruising about in and out of the weed. It's thick out there. but I haven't seen them in here for just over 2 years. This is Padwa's Island, this is called, because it used to be Padwa's favourite spot. Maddie's quite enjoying it as well. Never used to be a swim here. I made this swim myself, cut out, there was all snags and that all along here, and I cut all them out 2 years ago. But we used to moor at the far end right up there. Just used to keep a spare battery, I think it was, up there, and every time I used to moor up to get it, Pads used to come charging down here, and it was just about the only place that he wouldn't come back when I whistled him. He was always so good. Just one whistle, boof, he was back. But he used to hang out as long as possible up here. So it got named after him. I built a swim here, which I've never fished. Because the fish have never been back. But they're out there now. It's not the ideal bit of fishing ground, to be honest. It's very shallow, weedy. I can see baits, but they just look ridiculous when you got half a dozen boilies just glowing on the bottom in 3 foot of water. I'll give it a couple of hours and see what I think. Itching a ride, look. Sensible. I think they're all in there. I think there's 4 of them all hidden under her wing. Beat swimming. It might be classed as a little bit weedy out here in this main lake. This is the nightmare. When you've got a wind blowing across it like this, it's just so hard to control anything. As soon as you get out one bit of weed, you're into another. Loads of it, all in flat spots, they're all great big floating weed beds. Underneath are even more. Tricky, tricky. So, we're on the move again. Only lasted about half an hour in that other one. We're going to fish in here. By the look of it, it ain't been fished for a long while. Last time I was in here there was a nice flat grassy bivvy step there, but now it just looks a little bit overgrown, to be honest. But the last time I was in here was 2 years ago. So. Right, anyway, I have a rod, this one, out there, next to a weed bed. Put another cane out there. Just the back of the weed bed out there where the carp are. Just a better angle, really. Often it's all about angles, which I'm just about to crash into the bank, so this is a poor angle. See you in a minute. Turn off. There used to be a path into this swim at one stage. As you can see, it's gone. Yeah, it used to be able to walk in from behind, but you can't anymore, which makes it all the better. I mean, you can't walk out. Sort of on the riverbank over here, so it's not that far behind before you've got the tow path up the river. So she can't get out. We get along here actually, but it looks a bit of a mission. What to do? I'm still undecided, to be honest. I know there are fish out there. It's so hard at this time of year, and when it's so weedy and it goes clear, by the time you find fish with that thing, they see you and they get very spooky. but without it it's almost impossible to fish. Well, you couldn't just cast out there, it's ridiculously weedy. Looks all nice and clear and big and open, but it really ain't. Oh yeah, sod it. Let's have a night in here. Last night it is tonight. Never know. Change your swim, change your fortunes. Might get a great big fat one. Right, well, there's 2 rods out there. I'll leave it a little while before I do the 3rd. And I'm going to make some sense of this. I've left all my tools on another island, which is just bloody typical. In fact, my rake's about half a mile away. Although in saying that, I've got a set of shears which are not too far away. Seem to be on this route for the bumblebees as well, which isn't good. Every time I sit there, they all come swarming round me, so they must fly through here somewhere. There's one. Oh, that's quite cute, isn't it? Very pretty. As I want to pull all them brambles out with my bare hands, though. I'll have to get the shears. Right, I'm going to crack on. Well, there's not an awful lot happening. I did have high hopes yesterday afternoon. It's now about 7 in the morning, and all I've had is lots of liners, which I do firmly believe now are tench. Carp were here, but I'm not sure they still are. I think tench the tench might even be spawning out there, which is usually quite a good attraction for carp, but I ain't convinced. Just my left hand rod keeps getting little plucks and tip bouncing around. I've seen half a dozen tench roll along that line, so no, I reckon that's it. End of the session, 1 carp. It is fishing hard. The thing is, when you're fishing for sort of myths and legends and the odd sighting of something better, it's nice if you're catching a fair few fish to sort of work your way towards something. When you're struggling to catch the stockies, that's hard. Funny old day today as well. Before I came away this week, they were saying it was going to be 32 degrees this week, which was a load of rubbish. It did get quite warm, sort of high 20s, but muggy. And today's, well, you wouldn't call it cold, but it's not exactly boiling. That wind's got a little edge to it. I had to cover up the knobbly knees and put some trousers on it. No, I think this week's just going to peter out. I'll have a little look round before I go, just in case I'm missing a trick somewhere. But unless something stupendous happens, I reckon that'll be it from me this week. And from her. So, ta-ta for now.